Pow, 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 coming at you. Welcome to the attic. Manadad here. It's the channel where we explore what's fun in Magic, mostly on Arena. But also, there's another big paper tournament this week. So, yes, a family visiting this week. I severely overestimated how much time that would give me to make videos, but I am committed to every Monday coming here and talking about the metagame with you all. And unfortunately, it's going to be another week where I haven't done a ton of prep. You're kind of we're going to be learning about the metagame together as we click through. But what I can say is there's a bit of a surprise here coming out of Montreal. Although maybe not a surprise. Shout out to Lyndon Coote. All right, taking down a field of 447 people paying with their Canadian funny money, almost 80 Canadian dollars. That's like what, like $3 or $4 US dollars, paying to enter this tournament. I love you, Canadians. And taking it down with Azorius Omniscience. And we've been talking about Azorius Omniscience, and we've been talking about why no one else talks about Azorius Omniscience on this channel. So let's take a look at Lyndon Coote's deck. This is, going into this week, the deck to beat in Standard. Well proven at a very big tournament where people should have been pretty well prepared. 4 Philology, 4 Meringue River Regent, 3 Oracle of Tragedy. Okay, that's the 2-mana 1/3 that lets you shuffle up to 4 target cards with mana value 3 or greater from your graveyard into your library. Otherwise, you're just looting. But I guess it's just another way to get the Omniscience into the graveyard. It's interesting. 1 Cutsil's Flanker, 4 Omniscience, 4 Roiling Dragonstorm, 4 Temporary Lockdown. So main decking 4 Temporary Lockdown really came prepared for the Izzet and Mouse meta. And there's a great video you can check out by Doomwake talking about should there be a ban on Cori-Steel Cutter or Monstrous Rage? Like, where are we at with, like, is it / mouse thing pretty bad when the people that are winning tournaments are main decking what you might consider sideboards? Now, on the other hand, 4 temporary lockdowns, I mean, is it that much of a cost for this deck to main deck it? They can bring it back with Abuelo's Awakening. They got stock up. As far as dispersal, you can bounce it and replay it. Scroll Shift, Stroke of Midnight, also in the deck. In terms of what they're playing in the sideboard, 4 Overlord of the Mistmoors. That's the blue one, right? No, that's the white one. Okay. Wonder what decks they were bringing that in against. 2 Beezas. No Beezas in the main deck. So in some ways, people have been, pre-sideboarding by putting Beezas in the main deck. 2 No More Lies. So I guess a little bit more protection from people that are gunning for this combo. But I guess nobody is gunning for this combo when they really should be. This deck is not getting... If this deck doesn't get taken seriously, it wins. What we've been talking about on this channel the last couple weeks. 2 Voice of Victory, 1 Boonbringer Valkyrie, 1 Negate, 1 Scroll Shift, 1 Soul Partition, 1 Surge of Salvation. So, yeah, interesting. So I guess it's just Meringue River Regents, and as far as dispersal and Roiling Dragonstorm, the other sort of like, so the Oracle of Tragedy is sort of like extra copies of Roiling Dragonstorm in terms of just getting your Omniscience in there, digging for the Abuelo's Awakening. And then there's not any, like, bringing anything out of the sideboard. This is just... I'm just realizing this now. Like, where's the battle? There's no battle. This is all just about getting that Omniscience down and just bouncing Roiling Dragonstorm and drawing your whole deck, and I guess winning with Meringue River Regents. Really interesting. So here, Mono Black 2/1, Gruul Delirium 2/0, Azorius Combo 2/1, Izzet Prowess 2/0, Izzet Prowess 2/1, Another Omniscience deck 2-1. Mono red aggro 2-0. Mono red aggro 2-0. So really good against the aggro and the prowess. I think that's key, right? Prowess 2-1, prowess 2-0. Is it aggro to... Oh, they lost to, I think, CFT SOC. Is that the one who eventually got second place? Yeah. So they lost to the Izzet aggro second place. Let's take a look at what this deck is packing. Monastery Swiftspear, 3 Drake-Hatcher, 2 Thundertrap Trainer, 4 Sleight of Hand, 4 Stock Up, 4 Into the Floodmaw, 4 Up, 2 Abrade. So that's, you know, Abrade is sort of like main decking a thing to hit Cori-Steel Cutter. Only 2 Monstrous Rage, though. So for all the people saying, okay, we banned Monstrous Rage, well, here's a Cutter deck that's only running 2. You gonna ban all one-drop spells? They'll just put 2 more pump spells in here, or maybe they'll just put in, you know, more Abrades or something. More Storm Chaser's talent. It's a strong package. I wouldn't want to be Wizards trying to figure out whether to ban something or not ban something, and how to do it. Was there a rematch against Linden Coot? This is a draw. Maybe they took a draw with this player just to get to the finals. Interesting. Well, let's take a look at the top 8 or even the top 16 here. So Azorius Omniscience. Is it aggro? Which is really just Izzet, I think. 2, Izzet number 3, Dimir midrange number 4, Jeskai Oculus, which we've seen being, you know, getting some top 8s. Prowess 6, 7, Mono Red Aggro 8. Mono Red Aggro, of course, was number 1 at the big tournament in Hartford last week. And then just outside the top 8, White, Blue, Red, Green Beanstalk. Is it aggro? Or is it bounce? Is it prowess? Is it bounce? Is it prowess? Is it prowess? There's a Rakdos aggro at 17. And there's more Azorius Omniscience / Azorius combo. I don't think Azorius combo, it's like the same thing, really. 4 temporary lockdowns. This one has 1 founding the 3rd path, but only 1 Philology Archaeologist. So I guess having cheap creatures to block with was a key in performing better. You're trying to read the tea leaves. I don't know. Well, let's take a look at what the meta looks like on Arena. I would say after doing this for several weeks now, people are not necessarily responding instantly. Like maybe the deck that wins the most gets a bump. Like look at there's Azorius Omniscience getting a nice bump. But still the most played Mono Red Aggro and Izzet Prowess. Mono Red Aggro should have gotten the big bump last week. But it's really come down since the release of Tarkir Dragonstorm. Of course, Mono Red is usually the deck people play when you get a new set release, so it looks like it's going to be another couple months of Mono Red dominating. I hate to tell you, people excited to play your Final Fantasy cards. It looks like Red is the best deck going into the changeover to Final Fantasy. Well, I guess that's play rate. This is in win rate. Look is possibly Boros Auras Boros Auras is just pipping it out. Apparently, number 1, and it's at number 2. Although I don't know. I don't know if the decimal places are really getting factored. It really should be a tie for number 1. Then there's Azorius Omniscience again, just way up there in win rate. Still number 3 in popularity, kind of distantly behind Mono Red Aggro and Izzet Prowess. So for whatever reason, everybody adopted Izzet Prowess and not Azorius Omniscience, even though Azorius Omniscience continues to perform really well. And Izzet is not even in the top 8 here of win rate. As we look at this now, we could filter this just to, like, you know, platinum to mythic, see if that makes a difference. And no. I mean, the better players play Omniscience at a higher rate, but still Prowess very popular and not showing up. in the higher win rates. So, let's do it this week. We'll bounce back and forth. So we're just still on standard. So this is the picture that's coming from Magic the Gathering Online and from these paper events. This is MTG Goldfish. They have Izzet Prowess at a much bigger slice of the meta. And Jeskai Oculus at number 2, which is interesting. And then Mono Red Aggro close behind, and Azorius Omniscience close behind. I'm kind of surprised Mono Red Aggro would not be doing better, because you would think, here's a 5-0 from a recent league. I guess it hasn't won. There's a third place in the standard, third place in standard showcase. I mean, it's placing here, but I guess people just all in on Izzet. And I don't know if they have the results from Montreal in here yet. You would think they would show up here, right? It's the 23rd, the 24th, the 24th. Unless this is standard, no, it's standard challenge 32. I don't know what the Filka Mr. Cup is, but looks like they've got a 2nd, a 6th, an 8th, and a 7th registered for that. And they don't have the winner? Weird. Yes, but look, I mean, Azorius combo, Azorius control. We'll see. Azorius definitely seems to be keeping this stuff in check. That's what I would say. The Jeskai control and the other control decks are maybe keeping the prowess and the mono red aggro in check. And I guess that's what they want. I think they would rather have a 3-deck format where you have aggro, combo, and control. Or, aggro, mid-range, and control, and combo. You could get a 4-deck style format. I mean, I guess we got Dimir mid-range here. 4% of the meta. I would consider these self-bounce like Orzhov self-bounce and Esper self-bounce. If you combine both of those are like bigger, more popular than Jeskai Oculus. So if you think of those as just a version of the same deck, that's really the number 2, and that's like a tempo deck. So anyways, that's interesting. Then we'll flip over to Pioneer. Mono Red Aggro is unquestionably on top in Pioneer. People also like Izzet Phoenix, Mono Black mid-range, and then Celestia Angel. I'm going to guarantee that's going to be more popular on Arena. Let's see how Pioneer is looking on Arena this week. Yeah, Celestia Angel's number 4. What was this? Oh, that's number 4. Okay. I just always see it whenever I play my Pioneer decks. I always see Celestia Angels, but it looks like Mono Red Aggro, Rakdos Aggro, Izzet Phoenix, Celestia Angels, and then Azorius Control, the top 5 in popularity. In terms of winning, if you actually want to win, play your what they call Rakdos Aggro is not always Rakdos. Let's see. Yeah, it's just Mono Red Aggro with a Carousel Sword. And that makes sense. That would do well in best of 1. So the number 2 Celestia Auras, it's not barely cracking the top 8 over here in popularity. Mono White Humans, Esper Greasefang. I've been playing a Mono White Tokens deck that had performed well, but I'm not seeing that this week. And I have to say, it hasn't been playing that well for me, so I haven't felt the need to record a video of it. It's kind of a fun deck, though. Like a Mono White Tokens control. And let's see. Alchemy. What can we learn? Izzet Otters wins, and Izzet Otters is popular. Everybody seems to know that. So Alchemy metagame, again, not looking that great. They do have somebody supposedly managing it, but maybe they need more time to start getting it to the more range of stuff. I would love to see. I mean, I guess there's decent win rates for a bunch of different decks. I would love to see more of a metagame where it's going back and forth between different decks. I don't think they've quite figured out the power level for Alchemy. They need to make the cards more powerful than standard cards, but then you risk you just make something that's so powerful it beats every other new card that you make. So I don't know. Maybe they need more than one person just trying to manage alchemy and design cards for it. We'll skip best of 3 for those because barely learn anything. Boros Oros is #1 in win rate and #1 in popularity on historic, so it looks like everybody's kind of, and then Boros Energy #2. Everyone's kind of coalesced around, although look, these are only at 10% and 9% of the metagame. We can see, best of 3 just doesn't have enough data. Timeless, we got a little more data this week. Mardu Energy is #1, but only #2 in popularity. And Historic Brawl, Ugin Storms has the highest win rate, and Kotis is still #1 in popularity, but followed closely by Ugin. Rusko is back up here in the top. Bristly Bill is now down to #3. I think Bristly Bill was #2 last week with Weaver Poke. People really like these guys, and they win a lot. Rennie of the Unwritten. I'll reiterate, I made a deck list for this, but I did not make a video for Ureni of the Unwritten. But if you want my Ureni deck list, get on my Mox field and find that. It's a fun deck to play. Elspeth Stormsplayer, Teval the Balance Scale, and Tiamat. Against these are a lot of recent commanders and like overrepresented commanders like Mythweaver Puck, where people just don't like playing against them, and so they just concede. So I think that's helping the win rates. I mean, but even the most winning here, Ugin, is only 57%. I'm seeing on the Brawl subreddit people complaining about Kotis, but I don't see Kotis's win rate being that high. But maybe that's because it's so popular, people are gunning for it. Only 3.9% of the metagame, though. So that's Arena. Let's take a look at some of the formats that are only on Magic Online. Modern #1 deck is still by far is Boros Energy. Izzet Prowess? Not even half, or well, yeah, not even half. And then Pioneer we looked at, right? They need to just remove Explorer here. Timeless. I don't even know why they bother with the Arena stuff if they're not. I guess they put in some tournaments that just happen. Popper. Let's see, Popper. There have been a bunch of recent Popper lists I've seen going around on Blue Sky. Yeah, Popper metagame looking a lot of fun. Recent league winners: Mono Blue Terror, Burn, Boros Bully. There was a Popper challenge this weekend. Bogles took #1, and Madness Burn, Mardu Synthesizer, John Wildfire, Mono Blue Terror, Izzet Fairies. And not until you get to 7th place do you get a repeat with Bogles, and then another repeat with Madness Burn. But yeah, High Tide Combo is getting represented here. Can we put Gavin Verhey in the Popper panel in charge of every format? Like, talk about a format that's really hard to manage too. Like, they're managing it entirely just with bans. They're not. They're not. I guess Gavin is a designer, so he can maybe influence a little bit what goes into Popper and what doesn't. But still, pretty good, I think, as a metagame. Legacy looks like actually has quite a few valid decks in the metagame, at least as broken down here on MTG Goldfish. Vintage, a little more clumped toward the top. Yeah, Penny Dreadful. Let's get updated that often. I guess it does. There looks to be tournaments every day or every other day. So, Tool Commander. Do they have like CEDH results in here? Just all about Vivi. Everybody wants to build a Vivi deck right now. I guess Vivi is going to be the hot commander out of coming out of Final Fantasy. They put Kodos at #1 on their metagame. I think the real metagame is the competitive brawl Discord. So if you don't know about that, go on Reddit, read about it, join it, play in their tournaments. It's a really great community. So that's my endorsement for the Brawl Hub competitive brawl Discord group for the day. Okay, well, I guess the only other thing to talk about is, which we kind of mentioned, is Monstrous Rage or Cori-Steel Cutter going to get banned? I'm hearing more and more like maybe they should ban it. Is it prowess is becoming too popular, at least for the data for Hartford? I haven't seen somebody put it together for Montreal yet, but everybody knew the prowess deck was going to be a top deck, and so they were gunning for that deck, and still it converted like at a higher percentage than other decks, which means more of the prowess decks made it to day 2. It was a bigger percentage of the metagame than it was in day 1. So that seems to suggest that prowess might be a little too strong. But on the other hand, look, you know, Omniscience was able to take it down. That tournament was won by Mono Red aggro, which I don't believe had any Cori-Steel Cutters in it. Did have 4 Monstrous Rage. So, yeah. I'm really stuffed up. Shout out to allergies. Anyways, that's the roundup for the metagame for this week. I don't see any comments, but if people do want to see particular data, because I pay for the untapped.gg data, so you don't have to. So come stop in on these videos, these weekly metagame videos, and let me know if there's something in particular you want to see me click through and look at. I would again say Azorius Omniscience looking underrated in standard. If you need to rank up fast, it looked like some of the other metagames here, like Historic, you could be playing Boros Auras for a 66.9% win rate. That seems pretty good if you need to rank up fast. And or Alchemy, you know, pay Izzet Otters for 67.7% win rate. And yeah, I don't know, Pioneer. I still feel really weird calling it Pioneer on Arena just because there are cards that are missing. But I guess maybe I'm shouting, old man shouting at clouds with that one. Anyways, thank you for joining me here in the attic. I've been Manadad reminding you magic is a game so fun.